guys, thank you so much for your comments. Thank you for the likes. Love it. Okay, so I want to piggyback off the video that I made about actually setting goals for your family, right? And so I'm just going to share some goals that you can set for this year, right? It's still early, so there's still time, right? Okay, so let's get right into it. So I'm going to start with family. We're addressing family, your spouse or your marriage, and then kids, right? Okay, so let's start. So for the family, I would suggest putting God first. So you can decide that you want to have family devotion, so prayer altar, worship, whatever it is that you can do as a unit to strengthen your love for God. That would be good. Also, we might want to explore restaurants this year, go out more as a family. You can decide that you want to be more hospitable, right? So either you host more people. I know it can be very tedious, but if you're up for it, right, especially if you were a snob last year, you might want to consider being more hospitable, have more people over, have games night or things like that. Or you can say you want to go out more, right? Go out, see more people. Obviously call them ahead of time before you yeah. Okay. Next would be choosing healthier options. So that would be maybe like healthier options for food. You can decide that you want to work out together, whatever works for you. You can also decide that this year you want to travel as a family. This is the best time to actually start that, because I mean you can start saving up for it, planning, working your schedules, your leave time, all of that to make it happen. Okay, so I'm going to move on to spouses now. Okay, so for spouses, you might want to take like 10 to 15 minutes of your day every day to actually have conversations with your spouse. You take away all distractions, so things like your phone, screens, whatever it is, right? Put the kids to bed, do whatever you need to do, but have that one-on-one time to actually discuss with your spouse and find out how their day was going. If there are any issues, pending issues, you guys can use the opportunity to actually talk. This would significantly improve your intimacy. I promise you that, because you're actually taking out time, like that quality time to actually talk to each other. Okay, so next would be love language. Is very, very important. Understanding your spouse's love language and doing whatever you can to actually meet their need is so vital. Like, you can't be giving people gifts if their love language is actually affirmations or things like that. Like, understanding it is just as important. Okay, so and then basically when you understand it, it helps you to know how to actually meet the need, right? And fill up their love bank. Okay, so next, sex. Very importanter, if I can say that. Okay, so sex wise, you can decide that you want to try new options, new like, just be adventurous, right? If you're both up for it. The other alternative is, for example, if you're super busy, right, it might be necessary for you to schedule something. I know it's supposed to all be spontaneous and be all but sometimes the reality of life just like bust your bubble basically, and so you need to be intentional, right? That's in fact, this year is for intentional living, right? So so if you have to, please schedule something for you and your spouse. Make sure that your schedules match. And please, for women, for example, it takes some build up, a bit of build up before you actually do basically. So I would advise that, I mean, if it's already scheduled, or you guys know that you want to have something happen, even for the guy, even if it's not scheduled and you want to have something happen, start working on her from like the beginning of the day, and just little things here and there that will put a smile on her face, make her feel loved, make her feel like a queen that she is, that kind of thing. That goes a long way, jigger, and you might actually get some that night, right? Okay, so what else am I missing? Date night. It is important that you have that one-on-one time with your spouse, and the best way to do it, if you can't go out, right, you can decide to have a staying date night. But the best way to do it is to make sure you take off all the distractions, like I always say, and just like, in fact, even the kids, like, make sure they're in bed already, or they are in fact, send them to their grandparents' house, whatever works for you. But just have that one-on-one time, and just dress up, look nice, look sweet. It doesn't even have to be like every week or every month, but you basically just plan what works for you, and that's the most important part. Just be intentional about it, and I mean, it will go a long way. Like I spoke about like the 10 to 15 minutes, just you spending time talking to your spouse. The intimacy level just like increases significantly because there's that intentionality that comes in. Okay, so I'm gonna move to kids. Let me not dwell too much on, yeah. So for the kids, number one rule, intentional parenting. However you can, like, achieve that is golden. I think for kids, attention is really really a key thing. Like, it's, as far as I'm concerned, sometimes attention is like their love language, right? So if you can engage them one-on-one, you take away the screens, take away their tabs, all of that distraction, cocoa melon and the likes, and just like talk to them and find out how their day went, or who is your friend in school, things like that. I feel like it significantly makes them feel loved, and you get to actually know the way they think and like the things that are going on in their lives, right? Okay, so next I would say build their self-esteem, right? And so that can be by just constantly speaking words of affirmation to them and making them know that they are loved and that they're special, and just things like that that will just encourage them and build them up and not make them feel down or look at themselves as less than. Is really important, especially in this day and age where like a lot of things are happening right now. Like the realities that they are facing, I don't think my generation did, and I'm relatively young. Okay, so next is teach them to have a personal relationship with God. This is important. You can do that by just teaching them to know how to pray in the morning when they wake up and pray at night when they're going to bed. And it might just be prayers of gratitude, like, oh, thank you, God, that I saw today. Thank you for my parents. Thank you for the food that I ate today. Thank you for the kind of school that I go to. It can just be anything, but the point is just that art of gratitude, the heart of gratitude as well, is so important. Yeah, you can decide that this year you will teach them your native language. It seems very random, but I feel like the the new generation, they are losing our roots, in quotes. Do you get? So you can decide that you want to do certain words per day, right? And just teach your child, oh, what this means in Igbo, what this means in Yoruba, what this means in Hausa, and every other language that exists in Nigeria, right? So anyways, yeah, so that's it. Please let me know if you have other goals that people can adopt, things that you adopted as well for this new year for your family. Please let us know, share in the comments. Thank you for listening to me. Enjoy the rest of your day. Love you. Bye.